It's Local Edition. Brad Pomerance here in the San Fernando Valley. We are joined today by Darrell Park. He is a nominee for a board seat on the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, and we're in his district, which is huge. Your district is huge. Tell us about the 5th and how large it is.
So the easiest analogy here is if you're driving up to San Francisco, by the time you get tired and need to get some food and need to go to the bathroom, you're literally still in the district. Right. It's 2,800 square miles, some of the most beautiful high desert, all the way down to the north of LA City. Kern County border is the top border.
Right.
Ventura County border to the west, San Bernardino County border to the east.
Right, and as a result of the size of the district, much of the district is unincorporated.
Yes.
The other 4 seats have small amounts of unincorporated land, but nothing like the 5th.
Yes.
When there's no incorporated body, in effect, the supervisor becomes the de facto mayor.
Yes, and that right now is not a workable situation.
Explain.
People are paying too many taxes. You're paying first world taxes and getting third world services.
You feel as if the unincorporated areas get short shrift?
Yes, very much so. So you don't have representative government in the same way that you should. We're going to have a big earthquake, a really big earthquake. What we need to do is get some of the power that now is concentrated in the supervisor and get that down to the town councils so that they can do things like earthquake preparation.
So should these smaller communities incorporate?
No, there's very good reasons why they chose not to. I live in Altadena, an unincorporated town.
Okay.
There's very good reasons why you don't incorporate, but that doesn't necessarily mean you should give all your power away.
What about community service districts, CSDs? I mean, is that a potential solution?
I think the real solution is it's a democracy.
Right.
People are paying taxes. They should get some benefit for those taxes. They need to get representation. We kind of, I don't know, you might have remembered this Revolutionary War we had over this.
Yeah.
They need to have those, the ability to help their community, control their community, make decisions for their community, and the money that goes along with it.
So what needs to happen then? Do we need a county ordinance that devolves power to town councils?
Yes.
Help me.
And so what we need to do is we need to sit down with the rest of the supervisors and say, this doesn't make sense. This is literally a life and death issue. When the big one happens, I'm really responsive. I got my phone in my pocket. I'll take anybody's call anytime. But I'm effectively the mayor of dozens of cities.
Right.
How do you
or
get
non-cities?
Yeah, or how do you get supplies to everybody? That needs to be planned in advance. So those town councils have to have enough power and enough budget to actually take care of themselves before the disaster happens.
So you feel as if when there's that city layer, they're able to act more efficiently and effectively than when there's no layer in between the county and the people?
I think I would word it slightly differently.
Please.
I think in the case of unincorporated areas with the town councils, it's a council effectively for show. No offense to the council members because they work really hard. You don't have any power and you don't have any budget.
So should we have an election for town councils under your model? I mean, I'm fascinated. I love this stuff.
So I mean, so in Altadena, that's what they have now.
They have elections.
You're spending a lot of time and a lot of effort, and there's a lot of volunteers for effectively no power. They need to have the power to help control things in their own community.
So what would that look like? What power do you devolve? Do you need to devolve it officially? How does it work?
So a basic thing, a life and death thing, earthquake preparation. You can't wait on this big nebulous county to do stuff.
Well, 10 million people, 2 million in your district, I understand.
Yes, and so we need to plan for this now. And you can use earthquake preparation as a way to get these town councils organized so that everybody is there, because we know what's going to happen. So let's prepare for it now. And it's not me trying to plug holes after things happen. We're really thoughtful in doing it in advance. Why haven't we done this for decades and decades? The current situation likes to hold on to their power, and that's not acceptable.
Do you feel as if folks will want town councils that have official authority? Will they want another layer of government, if I can call it that? I know it sounds pejorative, but I don't mean it that way.
I think you have to look at it as we need effective government. Right now, if you have a bunch of people that don't have any power and don't have any budget, and you can tell them your ideas, but they can't do anything about it, that doesn't really make sense.
You may know the city of Los Angeles has something called neighborhood councils.
Yes.
And they actually have a budget, and they have elections. Could that be a model?
That could be a model. There's a bunch of flaws to that model. I literally think we need to be task focused for something like earthquake preparation.
I see.
For,
okay.
you know, and to sort of say, hey, at the end of this, we need to have every single town prepared for energy, for water, for infrastructure.
You could look at adopting at least the structure of the neighborhood council. I mean, that could be one way to do it.
Yeah.
But it be task driven. Just because there's a model that's working.
Yeah.
You know, I think they each get maybe $50,000 a year, or maybe more. Not a lot, but still, it's something to work with.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some flaws to that where we're not looking to have sort of junior politicians. We're looking to have people in their community, like a lot of the town councils now, that want to solve problems. We just need to empower them to actually have the resources and the power to do that. It doesn't make sense for 5 people to have the power they have.
Right.
That doesn't exist anywhere else in democracy. So we have a lot of things that are broken in the county, and especially in the 5th District. We've had years and years and years of mismanagement, a $30 billion budget that's just not being spent well. We have to fix that. And then the harder task is getting people to give up some power so that we have more democracy and that money is more effectively spent.
I want to talk about law enforcement.
Yes.
You know as well as most everyone that the LA County Sheriff's Department has seen better days, and the jail system is coming out of scandal. I think it's fair to say that the current elected Sheriff Jim McDonnell is working tirelessly, as is the Board of Supervisors, to try to clean up what some have described as a mess.
It is a mess.
Presuming victory, sir, what would you hope to do to continue the momentum to clean up the mess that is the sheriff and jail departments?
We don't have a system that rewards the good deputies. They're dressed exactly the same way as the bad ones, and therefore there's no system that enables them to get promotions and be seen as the good guys. Right now, everybody's sort of looped in this bucket. We need to have the body cameras that they don't even have yet, get those as quickly as possible. We've seen that in there's a study just done in Cambridge where the complaints against officers go down by 93% when you have those body cameras. But the sheriffs can't have that video. It's not something that we're going to have to beg for. There'll be an independent agency that gets that video, that, you know, blots out license plates and people's faces and releases that stuff. So we have a very transparent sheriff's department. They don't get to turn those things off.
But can you, as a supervisor, order that? Because the sheriff is independently elected.
Yes.
And so do you have the ability to mandate that?
Yes. I mean, I as one do not.
No, but the board does.
But we paid out $45 million. So the answer is yes. And we paid out $45 million last year in sheriff's abuse claims. I don't care who you are, $45 million represents way too much money and a lot of civil rights abuses. So what we need to do is we need to have an independent board that takes care of hiring and firing, all the recruitment pieces.
Well, there is a civilian board that's being created, correct?
Yes, but there's a lot of flaws. What I need is people who are homeless, people who have been sex workers, people who have had lots of issues with the sheriff's department. I need those people to be empowered to make decisions. Why? Because there's homeless people that decide whether he gets fired or not.
That's a bold statement and a bold maneuver.
But we need to change that power, and that protects the good sheriff's deputies.
You'll come back?
Yes.
He's Darrell Park, nominee for the LA County Board of Supervisors. I'm Brad Pomerance, local edition.